Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our summer picnic virtual cooking class. So glad you made it. I am Charlotte, and with me as my commentator, my moderator, my friend, Scott Tompkins.
Welcome, welcome. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here. I thought you were going to say Big Summer Blowout because we're talking about the Disney movie, and I thought you were doing Big Summer Picnic Blowout, and I was like, oh, Big Summer Blowout. I thought that's what you were going to say. So it's kind of like that.
It's kind of. It's kind of. I'm super excited about these recipes today because one, we have fried chicken, so just there's that. And then two, we have birthday cake blondies. So I'm super excited about both of these things because nobody doesn't like fried chicken, right? Everybody loves fried chicken, and nobody doesn't like birthday cake because birthday cake is awesome. All of the things we are cooking today are designed to be eaten with your fingers, no plates, no forks. They're designed to be put into a tiny little box and put into a basket and taken away out into the outdoors. So we're definitely encouraging everyone to go outside and share a meal with someone they really like. So I'm ready for this.
Picnic. So if I had to guess what is in Charlotte Samuel's picnic basket, here's my first guess. 6 to 7 bottles, Veuve Clicquot. Veuve Clicquot, did I say that right? I never know how to say it right.
Yes.
It's champagne.
Champagne.
And then
so
maybe
yes.
some kind of French fry? Something fried,
Yes,
probably?
yes. So
right.
Incidentally, fried chicken and champagne go beautifully together. And in my opinion, champagne is always the answer and love always wins. So there it is. That's my motto. There it is.
Love it.
So yes, fried chicken, one of my personal favorites. When I was looking at recipes to do for picnics, I thought, well, we could do sandwiches, we could do charcuterie boards, what could we do? And I remembered something that my mom said that when she was a little girl, her mom always made fried chicken for picnics, right? So she would make a big batch of fried chicken, they'd pack it up, and then they'd go out and have a picnic, and it was fried chicken. And so I said, we're gonna do that, because I think fried chicken is a perfect picnic food, and we're gonna make the perfect fried chicken recipe. And the reason why this is the perfect recipe is, okay, back up for a second. I've come to realize things, like as I do research for these classes, is that recipes are very personal and very specific to each individual and the person that are the person that's making it, right? So like chili is a very personal thing, right? Like the spices that you use and enchiladas or whatever, the chocolate cake, whatever it is, right? And so as I was creating the perfect fried chicken recipe, I realized that everybody has their own way of doing it. And so this recipe is sort of adapted from the way my mom made fried chicken, or the way I watched my mom. But the reason it's perfect is that the cornstarch that we add to the breading helps to keep that crust super crispy. So when you are transporting this to, say, you know, a park somewhere or your backyard or whatever it is, the crust of this chicken stays crunchy even though the chicken is cold, cool, or at room temp. So that's why it's the perfect fried chicken. And also it's a great breading for anything you want to fry. So big fan of this one.
It is. It's the perfect. It is the
yes.
perfect outdoor food. I don't have any actual. There's no basis for what I'm about to claim, but I have a feeling that, you know, when you think about the Colonel's, like Kentucky Fried
yes.
Chicken, like the bucket was meant to be transported, right? Like for
yes.
picnics or whatever. So you could probably Google fact check that and see if that was a real thing or not. But I feel that's
yes.
why they put it in a bucket, because it was meant to go
travel
somewhere. Places with you.
This is me holding a
picnic.
bucket of chicken, by the way. Like this is like, I'm like.
That's your bucket? Drumsticks and thighs, or
right?
only the white meat?
I prefer the dark meat, but I'll actually, like, whatever you fry, I'm definitely gonna eat. So along with our blondies and our fried chicken, we're also gonna make a wedge salad on a stick, or a skewer. So again, no forks needed, so I'm gonna show you guys how to make this really cool salad, and then a wonderful quick and easy blue cheese dressing. And then no picnic is complete without some sort of bevy. So we're gonna make a salted watermelon mocktail, and I'll talk you through if you wanted to make it a cocktail, but it's going to be super great. We have a lot to do, so should we jump right in?
Let's do it.
Okay.
I'm ready.
So we are going to start with our fried chicken. It's kind of a couple of steps here. Very easy. I use a whole bird, and I like to cut it up. I like fried chicken on the bone. It's a personal thing. And again, we talked about this. Whatever you guys like, this recipe definitely suits that, so chicken tenders or whatever. And what I'm doing is I soaked my chicken in buttermilk and pickle juice. So about 3 cups of buttermilk and 1 cup of pickle juice. And I'm just using like Pickle Me Dilly. So one 16-ounce jar of hamburger chips is gonna give you the perfect amount of pickle juice. And then don't throw away your pickles, because we're gonna serve those with our fried chicken when we're done.
And if I may make a suggestion,
Yes.
since you have all those pickles and no juice, you could just soak them in your same buttermilk that
You
you're going to
could.
use for your chicken,
You
and then you could
absolutely
fry them up
could.
as well. Fried pickles
Absolutely could.
and fried chicken.
So in my bags, I know the recipe says you can use dishes, but I think that zip top bags work really well. It makes cleanup really, really easy. So in this, I'm just gonna put in some cayenne pepper into here. Cayenne pepper does a couple of things. It gives you a really nice spice, and it helps with coloring. And I'm gonna add some garlic powder, and it's like, I gotta get rid of these.
I really like the pro tip of the bags, because
Yes.
I'm the Yutz who's always got all the stuff in
Yes.
bowls, and it gets everywhere, and you're like, this would be so
Yes.
much easier if I could just throw all this stuff away, and then
Right?
mind blown.
Mind blown.
Ziploc bags.
Whatever happened in the world before plastic bags? Anybody?
I don't want to know.
All right, so we also have our cornstarch and our AP flour. Again, that cornstarch really adds this crispy, crunchy layer, and it helps keep the chicken crunchy as you transport. All right, so what I would do, make sure you have some sort of like a dish, a rack, a pan to put your chicken on. After you bread it, you want to let this chicken come up to room temperature. And I know that kind of sounds like a bizarre thing, right? People say don't ever leave raw chicken out. But for this particular application, when you are frying chicken, you want to make sure that the protein that you put in that hot oil is room temperature or slightly, I don't want to say warm, but definitely room temperature. Because if you were to put ice cold chicken into hot oil, first, it's going to drop the temperature of that oil, and what happens is when your oil isn't hot enough when you're frying, the flour or the breading actually absorbs oil, and you get this really greasy, not delicious and crispy chicken, which is what we're after. And then also it takes much longer to cook, right? And what typically happens is the outside of your chicken will be done and the inside will be raw, and we don't want that to happen either. All right, so mix this up, and what we're gonna do a double breading. And the reason why I'm doing a double breading is because, again, I'm after this crispy, crunchy, delicious crust. So I'm gonna take a piece of chicken.
While you're doing this, Chef, will you weigh in on the double breading? I also noticed that you have your borosilicate bowls you're
Oh my
using,
gosh, you
which
love
are
saying that.
fantastic.
You love saying that.
My most favorite word to say during any of these classes, borosilicate. How do you weigh in on the double versus the single dredge? What are some tips you can give to our students and clients tonight who are watching, going like, hey, do you have to double dredge?
You don't
Why
have to double
why
dredge.
single?
Dredge. It's just a personal preference for me, again, and like I said, I like to have that super crunchy. Okay, so what we're doing, I'm draining off some of the extra marinade. I'm going into the first bag. What's gonna happen is the buttermilk that's still on the outside of this chicken is going to adhere to the flour. The flour is going to adhere to this, right?
It's going to work as the glue.
The glue, right? Which is going to give the next dredge something to hold on to, right? So if we just put something slippery inside something slippery, it just wouldn't work, right? All right, let's see. Now we're going to take this chicken out of here. Here's the chicken leg, and watch this. We're going to dip it into here.
Back again.
And you can see how the buttermilk just holds on to that, right? Holding on to all that flavor. We're gonna go back into here.
I love it. I think, and this is just me just thinking out loud, I think if I had a secret agent name, I think it would be Scott Borosilicate, because I think it sounds tough. I think
it does sound really tough.
I mean, it
sounds pretty tough. It sounds tough. All right, here we go.
So double dredging.
Double dredging.
In and out.
Getting this guy in here. I'm gonna throw this one in here. I'm getting kind of sticky. All right.
And this is, I am also a big fan of the, I'm also a big fan of the double dredge, because inevitably when you are dredging, if you're just doing a regular simple dredge, a lot of that's going to shake off. Some of it will shake off.
Is.
So you're giving yourself double insurance.
I am, all the insurance, and I'm telling you, I love a crispy crust. All right. I'm just gonna shake this guy up. This is perfect for the kids to do, right? Like if you guys have kiddos, this would be the thing to do. Let them shake it up, get them involved. A big paper bag, also like a grocery bag, works really well for this too. Grab another glove.
So much easier on the cleanup too.
I'm telling you, less dishes. Don't you feel like that's like what summertime is all about? Okay, look at this. Do you see this, guys? Look how beautiful this is.
Nicely coated. And on your nice K&T rack, your baking rack, which is also doubled as a few things if you
this.
watched our last classes. Guacamole maker, cookie sheet holder.
There we go. All right.
And
So
fried chicken
after I
dredger.
bread it, you can sort of see how like the skin kind of comes off. It's really not that big of a deal. Oh, look at that's gonna be so crunchy. Okay, let me get rid of this. All right, and I'm gonna set these guys off to the side and let them kind of come up to room temp. I'm gonna do a quick cleanup of my board.
So those will rest.
Those will rest for a few seconds. And while that's happening, I'm gonna get ready for let me clean this up.
There's a great shot of all of our Cody stuff. Like, so I'm really impressed with all the,
We have so much
GM,
stuff, right?
Cody stuff. Like they've got everything. Those are the, I call them the wine cooler Codys because they've got that wine beveled shape to them. Now you can put regular juice and everything else in them, but you know, they're also a little fancier
Water,
for for your Veuve Clicquot.
Champagne, I'm telling you. Okay, so we're gonna make our blondies very, very easy. I love this recipe. Blondies are basically brownies without the chocolate, right? And this recipe is very easy. You don't have to get out your stand mixer. In my bowl, I have, about 1 cup of, you know what's really funny? Oh, it is plugged in. Yes. 1 cup
Did we plug it in? Did we forget to plug it in?
brown sugar. Nope, it's plugged in. 1 cup of brown sugar, half a cup of just regular white granulated. We're gonna add 2 eggs.
So
room
Chef, you're not
temp.
using a mixer.
Nope.
So is that because you are kind of brownie, you're not really trying to
Exactly,
mix the heck out
exactly.
of it? You're
That's
just
exactly
wanting
it.
the Gentle
All right.
stirring.
I'm gonna add in my butter that's not melted yet. Stand by. So to this, we're gonna add my secret ingredient. So this is cake batter extract. I love this
Cake
stuff.
batter flavoring.
It is so fantastic. It literally is the essence of of cake batter. And this is what makes it halfway birthday cake, because the second half is the sprinkles, right? So I'm gonna add in about a teaspoon of that. And then of course we're gonna add in a little bit of vanilla extract. I'm definitely eyeballing everything today. It's just the mood I'm in.
That's about right. That's perfect.
Right? I'm gonna do a pinch of salt. Oh, did you hear the timer go off?
I heard it.
Okay,
We're
it's
in
ready.
business.
All right, we're gonna add 1 teaspoon of baking powder. I mean, look how easy this is. Also, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna turn
I like
on,
it. It's all one thing. It's all in one spot. It's not multiple
All right.
bowls doing multiple things. It's
I
just
forgot to
mixed one
turn
time.
on my oil. All right, 2 sticks of butter. Right in there.
That is a generous amount of butter.
2 sticks, man. Then, I think every recipe in baking is like 2 sticks, just 2 sticks.
It's a pretty safe measurement. I
Pretty
feel like
safe.
it's a good amount of fat. You
Yeah.
gotta have fat in your baked goods.
Just
for
gonna mix
sure.
this like so, and then I'm gonna add in 1 3/4 cups, so just shy of 2 cups of flour. AP flour works perfectly for this recipe. We're just gonna stir this in, and you just wanna stir it till it comes together.
Look at that overhead shot, Rob. Come
look at
on.
that.
Like straight into
Look
the
at
barrel
this.
of the borosilicate.
And you can, ooh, look at that brown sugar in there. Beautiful. All right,
So real simple. You
Very.
don't need the mixer. This is like one
Nope.
of those things like keep the mixer for something else.
I mean, you could cream these, like the butter and the sugar together. You'll just get a different texture.
I kind of feeling though with brownies, you don't want to really go crazy with
No,
it.
you don't want to overmix. Okay, so now we're gonna add in our sprinkles, and I am using just these like beautiful rainbow sprinkles, and I love sprinkles, so I'm gonna add in
If you're
a
asking
generous,
how many sprinkles are in there, I can tell you 66,000
there you
sprinkles
go.
are in there.
I made them count them earlier. Just gonna add in our sprinkles now, just like this, fold them in. I mean, it's super easy.
And obviously, if the kids are helping out, they could do a little more, a little
Yes,
less. I
yes.
think right now you got about 9,000 sprinkles in there.
Okay.
I'm just visually counting.
yes.
I'm gonna
So,
do a count of sprinkles.
8 by 8, 9 by 9 square pan. A little piece of parchment in here. The parchment paper, I cut it to fit, and you want it to drape over just a bit. It's not to like keep it from sticking or anything like that. It really just helps to lift the bars out. And then I'm just gonna take
Makes
this.
it easier to cut them evenly later.
Right?
And also for the topping you're gonna do, which I won't give away, also helps with that.
It's not a surprise, Tompkins. They have the recipes.
Well, I know, but I didn't want to jump ahead, Chef.
Oh, okay.
and
Oh,
I feel like
get
I
it.
was
I get
giving
it.
a
I
teaser,
appreciate that.
like
I
a
appreciate
spoiler.
that. Thank you. Thank you. All right.
Small teaser.
Just spread it out like so, just like you would brownies. Don't worry if there's like clumps or anything in there. It's not a big deal.
It's a nice dense
How's my oil
batter.
looking? We're okay.
Your oil's getting there.
All right.
It's a little shimmering. It's dancing a little bit.
Is it?
What
Okay.
a great shot.
All right. Then we're going to take this 350 degree oven at about 30 to 35 minutes. And really what you're looking for, the toothpick test, right? So put the toothpick on the inside. Does it come out clean? You can underbake these a little bit, and then you get this like cake battery cookie dough thing happen, which is really wonderful. But they don't stay together when you cut them.
It's like a fudgy blondie.
It is. It's like a fudgy thing. All right, throw that in the oven. We're going to do a quick cleanup over here, and I'm going to go to my oil. How is it looking?
The oil was dancing earlier. If I had to guess, maybe you're at the 3 range.
All right, so I can
Getting
see
close.
some shimmer here. We are about medium-high heat. We are probably about 350 or 325. We're going to cook this chicken at a lower temperature. So typically when you fry chicken or fry anything, it's 350 to 375. But what we're doing is we really want to make sure that we cook this chicken completely, get all of the moisture out of it, and get this really beautiful crust. And we don't want to burn any the outside. I highly recommend that you preheat an oven to 200. I obviously have this really cool heat lamp going on right here to keep everything hot. But since we're working in batches, we want to keep things sort of warm as we go. And if you keep the chicken warm for just a few minutes after it cooks, it allows for more of the moisture and some of the oil to drip away, fall away from the chicken, keeping that crust crunchy. Do you see a theme here? Everything about what we're doing with this chicken is to keep the crust
Keep it crunchy.
crunchy, right?
You don't
Okay.
want soggy, unless it's like midnight and you're stumbling around in your robe and you just want a piece of
that's
chicken
also
that's
okay.
cold. That's totally fine.
Totally okay. All right.
Initially, we want the crunch.
So our oil is sort of like you said, gliding or shimmering or moving around the pan. And I'm using a cast iron skillet. I like to shallow fry. You could also use like a Dutch oven, but I highly recommend you use a heavy bottom skillet or pan. All right, so you can see I'm going to put this in here just like that. See how we get those nice bubbles, light bubbles around? That means our oil is at a pretty good temperature. It's not too high, it's not too low. If it was too low, you wouldn't see any bubbles at all, really. It would just sort of kind of sit there, right?
Sadly.
I'm going to kind of make sure that the skin
And if you have this is just a tip, if you're heating up your oil and you don't have a thermometer and you have never done this before and all of a sudden your oil just starts to go crazy and bubble up like nuts, you can, number one, turn off the heat. Number two, add some fresh oil to it, some room temperature oil, and it'll help bring the oil temperature down a little faster, which will help get rid of that crazy bubbly insanity.
All right, I'm going to turn down the heat on this, and we're going to go, so depending on the type of chicken you use and the temperature of the chicken, it's probably like 5 to 6 minutes at this temperature per side. Now, like if you were to deep fry this chicken, it would take a little bit longer, right? So that it's completely submerged, but it's not touching any like element. This chicken's actually touching the bottom of this cast iron skillet, so it is getting some more of that heat. So Tompkins, you get to watch the chicken.
You got it. I'll watch it from here.
And while that happens,
I've got this.
I am going to start our skewers. So I'm super into these. I got all my ingredients right here. Grab the stuff for our blue cheese dressing.
So many great fried chicken shots that are happening right now. I love the. So also, what I'll tell you too, while she's getting it all prepped, is when you're shallow frying anything, you're giving yourself a little extra insurance, because a lot of times when we deep fat fry in these big Pitco fryers or big fryers,
yes,
or you completely submerge in fat. A lot of times, if the oil is too hot, you can kind of burn everything on the outside. This is going to give you some insurance because not everything is completely submerged. So if you start to get it a little too hot, you can always kind of let it rest a second and then flip it over and then continue to cook it. Debbie asked what temperature the oil be. We're frying at 325.
Yes.
Around 325 to 350.
No, 300 to 325, so a lower
300 to
temperature.
325, you're going lower.
Good question.
My bad.
Okay, so I'm going to show you guys really quickly. I love these sprinkles. Aren't these so pretty? I just think they're so pretty. Sprinkles make me happy. They're like glitter. Sprinkles are the glitter of the baking world. I love them. I love them.
That's how I feel about sparkle sugar in the baking world.
Okay,
it's
all
like
right.
the glitter. I throw it around on everything, just, to leave a trail of
sparkle
sweetness
sugar?
everywhere.
Oh my gosh. naturally, it's like a thing. I just want to touch it, like with the tongs. It's a thing I do. It's like it goes in the pan and you just kind of want to, okay, I feel better now. I feel whole, I feel complete that I did that. Okay, so for our wedge salad, a wedge salad is typically iceberg. I like iceberg for this. It's hearty, it holds up, it'll stay on the stick. Interestingly, for this particular recipe, I am a fan of the organic
I knew you'd come
iceberg.
around.
The only reason why I like the organic one, conventional will work. It's just a smaller head of lettuce. The conventional grown iceberg tend to be really, 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 really big.
Wow.
We don't quite need that much lettuce. So really easy.
I thought maybe it was something. I thought maybe you had finally seen the light.
Seen the light.
I was pushing my organic lifestyle
I know.
on you, and you finally.
I know.
But that's all
Always
right. You know what?
pushing your
Hey,
agenda. So we're taking out the
compromise.
core. I wash this. I turn this over, and I let it sit. Let all the water drain out. Very easy. So what we're gonna do to cut these little shapes for our skewer.
I do have to say though, when you talk about iceberg,
Yeah.
if you walk the aisles of any of our HB produce
I'm just gonna get
departments,
these shapes. Yeah.
you'll find so much like great heirloom lettuces and all
Yeah.
these great baby lettuces and all that stuff. But
Yes.
iceberg is really such a fantastic lettuce for anything because it's so crispy and like
Oh,
juicy.
it's so
and-
good.
so I
It's
love.
like refreshing.
It is.
It is refreshing, right? So really, really, really easy. All you're gonna do, I've got a couple made here, right? So we're just gonna take, and this is a candy apple stick, an apple stick. Perfect shape, perfect size for this. Holds everything together, but also it goes perfectly into our container.
What?
So
Did you plan that?
I did plan that. I love it when a plan comes together. It was actually very serendipitous. I got really, really excited. So very easy. All I'm gonna do is take this guy like this, just like so.
Again, reason why you're using a heartier lettuce because it'll hold together better on a skewer.
Right? I keep looking at that chicken. It's so good. I don't, y'all can't hear it. Can y'all hear that sizzle? That is like, it's like a comfort sound. I love it. Okay, we're gonna do lettuce, cherry tomato. We're gonna do a cucumber, and we're using these really cool like gourmet cucumbers. They're really small. We're gonna do some bacon. So I had to actually make my bacon twice because the first time I overcooked it. If your
Too
bacon
crunchy?
is overcooked, it'll just crumble and break up, and it won't actually go onto your skewer. Look at that, a little piece of bacon. All right, I get so excited about these little things, right? Just like this. We'll do another piece of lettuce.
You know, as I'm looking at that, it's like it's very appetizing. And I'm
It
going
is,
to myself,
right?
it's really good, but I want you to like drown it in some kind of blue cheese.
Well, so
something.
glad you said that, Scott Tompkins, because I'm about to make the easiest blue cheese dressing ever.
What?
So we've got quarter cup, half cup of heavy cream. Basically, it's like this, a quarter cup, a quarter cup, a quarter cup. Equal parts, heavy cream, sour cream, and blue cheese together. In the bowl, I'm gonna put in,
Kim said she loved Chef Charlotte's new ring. What new ring is that?
oh, this one, Kim, thank you. I like it too. A little bit of blue cheese. Perfect.
Or a lot of blue cheese. The whole tin
Okay,
of blue
there you go,
cheese.
Scott
That's
Tompkins.
perfect.
This is for you. This is for you. All right, I'm gonna grab a little whisk. I need a little whisk.
So the blue cheese, so this is kind of a, and again, what I love, we preach this a lot, is that like there's everything, every recipe that that you've got in front of you that you look at from these classes is very customizable to however you want to do it. This is one of those great things. You could add some fresh herbs to this. I would say Charlotte would probably add fresh tarragon to this. if
Ah,
she's got a fresh
tarragon would
herb.
be beautiful. I'm gonna do some fresh lemon juice right here, just like this. Fresh lemon juice. Worcestershire or Worcestershire sauce, which
That's
adds
exactly how
really
you
nice
pronounce it.
umami. Add a little bit of that in there. And then garlic powder, which is one of my favorite things in the whole wide world. I use so much of it. Give it a stir again.
You like garlic powder like I like raw garlic.
This is true, yes. Look how good this looks. If you do overcook your bacon, don't fear. You know what you could do is you could just throw that crunchy bacon straight into that.
Oh, I was going to say I had a hack. Well, I was going to say take some Elmer's glue and your
Yeah,
bacon
that's what
bits
I would
and
do.
glue it together. Is that what you're going to say? All right. Well, it may not be edible, but it'll still look really nice as a bacon.
So green onion, you could chop your own if you want, but why should you when we've done it for you? Super easy here. How's my chicken look, Tompkins?
From where I'm sitting, pretty darn good.
It is looking pretty good. Okay, so right at this point, our
can
salad
definitely see some
dressing does
color.
look a little bit loose, but if you were to put this in the refrigerator and as it sits, it really comes together and hardens and gets really thick, almost like a dip. Like you could dip chips into this, it's so good. I'm gonna go ahead and put this directly into our container.
It's a perfect dip for those little skewers.
Right?
Especially when you're at a picnic. I don't think I've been on a picnic since I've lived in
There's
Texas.
so much blue cheese in this, Tompkins.
That's what we like. We want those
this.
chunks that they'll intermingle in our skewer.
All right.
Those are great. That's great Tupperware.
Oh, okay.
Just
So
gonna say
it's
it.
not Tupperware. It's the Triton Storage by HEB, and it's like spill proof. It's like you could probably put your phone in this and drop it to the bottom of the ocean, and nothing would happen. Look at this.
I feel silly. I'm sorry. I want to apologize to the Triton Ware. I called you Tupperware and I sold you short. Titan
right.
Storageware.
So
You're much
if you can
stronger than
see
that.
around the edges, we're getting this like it's starting to get like lightly browned. I'm gonna leave it just like this for a few more moments. We're doing really well.
Look nice and crispy, nothing sticking.
Nothing's sticking. It's starting to
good from
get
here.
that color starting to really come out. I'm gonna put this right here, and I'm gonna put some more of our skewers. Look at these. Look at this, y'all. Look. Da, 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 da. That's the circus
Perfect
sound.
storage container.
Look at that. Okay.
And these are, you're absolutely right. The difference between these and the regular Tupperware is these are the ones where if you, say you're on your picnic and you happen to throw it behind your ginormous pickup truck and you actually run it over, this looks like it could withstand the pressure of the tire. I'm not saying you
Yes.
should try that, but it looks like
Probably
it could withstand
don't.
it.
All right. Clean up here. Oh my God, these are like little, like, you could just dip these into the blue cheese.
telling
I
you.
love it. I
Those
absolutely
are,
love it.
so far the picnic is
So
coming together
far,
very well.
so easy,
Two
so
things
quick.
ready to go.
Okay, so still waiting on chicken. So I'm gonna show you when our blondies are to come out of the oven, they look like this. So obviously movie magic. And you can see how like, oh, look at that. All this like
can see
beautiful.
all those sprinkles.
Ah, beautiful. So what we're gonna do is we are going to coat these guys. We're gonna give it an icing layer, and we're gonna use the vanilla candy coating. This stuff is super great. You just heat it up in the microwave and pour it on. Really, really easy. We don't want too much of it because we don't want to like, take away from the beautiful like sprinkle Blondie birthday cakeness of the dessert. But we do want to give it like that traditional birthday cake look. An icing would be good. However, when you're transporting icing, sometimes it melts, it gets soft, it gets messy, it gets sticky. And the goal of this picnic is to not no mess, right? So I've got 3 cubes in the tray. I'm gonna go in the microwave 30 seconds at a time. Pull it out and then give it a little stir between each one.
I love the vanilla coating because you're right, it sets hard.
Yep.
And so you're not going to be trying to cut out with all the oozy icing all over your fingers. So it's a great thing, especially for, just ease of getting it out. How's it looking? Good?
It looks so pretty.
A little golden on the one side.
Oh, look at that.
That's the double dredge. That's
the
what that
double
crispy,
dredge.
crispy top.
Ooh. All right, this piece right here is actually a wing and part of the breast. So I like to leave the wing attached. And then when I cut it, I just leave a little bit of that breast meat on there. Oh my God, look at that. Okay, we can come back here and
I heard your
check
microwave
my
calling.
chocolate. Oh no, we need more time. So I'll show you, look. It starts to melt a little bit, but we're gonna go.
It's a really great, that product you're using, the vanilla coating, is great because it comes in the container that you microwave it in. So it's really handy. Use what you need.
So my mom, when she would make fried chicken, she always did this. Don't do this at home, it might be kind of dangerous. But she always just
You kind of baste it.
basted the top of the chicken in
Just like we
the
baste
oil.
our steaks, right? With the butter, baste them with the butter.
Yeah.
Willard did that? That's Willard's trick?
Yes. Sometimes everybody's stove has a hot spot. Does yours have a hot spot at home? Do you have gas or electric at home,
I
Tompkins?
have I'm glad you asked. I have a 1967 original coil stove. Still there. Thinking about replacing it, but I really kind of don't want to because it's kind of an original, heirloom of the, of the place.
All right,
it actually does heat up fairly quickly, but it is a extremely old coil stove.
All right, so I'm gonna go another, I don't know, let's say 15 seconds on this.
That's looking pretty good though, I like that.
If you do want your your coating chocolate to be more fluid, you can always add a little bit of butter to it, or something like coconut oil would work really well, and it makes it more pourable and more fluid.
That candy coating is actually great. It comes in milk chocolate, the white chocolate, and the dark chocolate.
Yes.
They're great for coating your strawberries. If you're looking for that kind of simple way to do it, it's already tempered. You microwave it, dip them in there, and you're good to go.
So this is another thing that my mom used to do when she made fried chicken. She like seasoned it like excessively. And I was like, whoa, Mom, too much salt. Whoa, Mom, too much salt. Never too much salt.
You know, it's the reason why Willard and I get along so well. Charlotte, honestly, Willard, Samuel, and I get along well because she salts her food. She's not scared to salt the food.
Okay, look at that.
Well.
This is perfect. So now all I'm going to do is take this guy right here, get all this delicious chocolate on here, white chocolate, which actually is like the absence of chocolate, right? White chocolate.
The
it's
cocoa
just
butter.
Cocoa butter. It's just.
Some people would say the best
Okay.
part of the chocolate.
And then like, oh,
Look at that. So you're just kind of evenly spreading it on there, and that's what I really like. Because right now, if this were icing, you got to be wondering, this is going to be really messy when I depan this because it's going to go all over the place. But when this sets up, it's easy extraction.
No way. All right. All right. Boom. And now.
And if you're counting sprinkles, I'm going to give you the accurate count of how many she's going to put on there right now.
I love
I'm telling you, I'm a pro
it's
at
like
this.
you're like a sports announcer. All right, sprinkles, because yes, sprinkles.
So that's 4,300 and.
Are we a lot of sprinkles or a little bit of
30,
sprinkles,
40.
guys? Are we a lot? I'm a lot. I'm a lot of sprinkles.
I mean, if you're calling
Okay.
it birthday cake, Blondie, you got to kind of go.
Gotta go
a
with
lot
it.
of sprinkles.
Okay, so what we're gonna do now, we are just gonna let this guy sit, right? And we're gonna let this chocolate harden, and it's just gonna do its thing. And then when we're ready to cut it, it's gonna be perfectly hard, crunchy. I'm gonna show you guys right now what it would look like.
I'm excited.
So-
Although I have to say, Charlotte, from the pan you're walking over, it looks like there's some missing blondies.
Yes, because
Weird.
my own self-interest, I needed it. I wanted it. My stomach won in this one, and I had to taste it. But this is what it looks like when we're going to cut them. So you can see how the chocolate is completely, or the vanilla candy coating is completely hardened. Ooh, I hear things. I have to come back over here. There's like a
I love
hiss
it.
and a pop that you hear, and so I want to make sure that we're doing okay. Y'all, this is the most beautiful. Look at this. Look how beautiful this looks.
Telling you, fried chicken. There's just some things that are worth doing from scratch, and I think fried chicken is one of those things.
Seriously, right? Okay, so this is another trick that my mom used to do, and that I learned from her when she would pan fried chicken. The bottom of that leg, right, that round part that doesn't necessarily like completely submerge, she always just propped it up like that. Got like, so
Yeah,
that bottom
let it
got nice and
Do its
crispy.
thing. Yeah, I mean, when you're cooking fried chicken, obviously you have the bone in there. It's going to take a little bit longer,
Yes,
but the flavor in the overall experience I
Yeah.
think is way better. I think it just has more flavor.
I'm gonna show you guys this. So basically, you just cut this guy in half. We're gonna cut him again. You can get a bigger knife. I had a big knife for this.
You want to use your new K&T kitchen set.
Would you like me to use that?
I mean, I bought it for you to use to show how awesome they are. Look at that knife. You can't find a knife like that just at
You
any
can't,
place.
you're right. Okay, I'm just gonna cut it down here. You can cut them in any shape you guys want. If you're feeling like you want, you know, triangles, do triangles. If you
You
want.
know, I have to say, Charlotte, the
Look, we can
glare
go-
of the copper on the white and the blonde and the thing is really just
like
something
a little,
special.
right? Cut them into little shapes, whatever you feel like. If you wanna do some cookie cutters, I support that too. Or you could just do some traditional squares. But look at this, like, not too much, not too little. It's like a
perfect amount.
bathing suit. Covers all the details. All right, there we go. Now, we're gonna put these guys, how's the chicken looking?
Now, do you have another Triton storage container for my
Oh
blondies?
boy, do I. All right, here we go. You guys ready?
Fried
I
chicken's
bet
looking
you've
good.
never seen
I
somebody
can
put,
I can smell the fried chicken.
it's
going.
amazing, right? It's amazing. Okay, here we go. All I did for this guy, a little bit of parchment paper on the bottom. Keep them from sliding around, and then you just go like this, right? And I saved the biggest one for these because everybody knows that dessert is the best. And if you want a double layer, These would be so
Double up
cute with a
your parchment.
candle in them. So if you have a birthday party to go to, like, why not? All right, we'll do this guy right here. 2 layers.
I like it. And we've
I
already
like it
established,
too.
I think we know that in the Triton Tupperware, it falls underneath your truck tire, you're
It'll
covered.
be safe.
Right?
Look at that.
I'm making outrageous claims on our
Boom.
GM
I bet we
items
could
that
have
I've
fit all
never
those
tested.
in there.
But I feel like they look tough, so I'm just going to make that claim.
All right, moving back over to my chicken. I want to see it. I want to see what it looks like. I think we're doing really, really well. Woo! I think that's perfect. Let's look at the bottom of this guy. He's perfect. I love it. I did a second flip. I'm gonna leave this in here for a little bit longer, and while this is happening, we're gonna make our cocktail. So I'm gonna grab
You were making a cocktail too? I thought it was
our
a mocktail.
ingredients. It's a mocktail. Mocktail, potato.
I'm happier with cocktails Friday night.
All right. So right here I've got some frozen watermelon. We're making our salted watermelon mocktail. This guy is super easy to do. If you wanted to make it a cocktail, right, so since we have the grapefruit juice in this, you could add some tequila and do like kind of like a Paloma type thing, which would be really good. I bet gin would be really good in this. All right. So I'm gonna actually make this recipe 4 times, and I'm gonna put it in this giant Cody thermos. And I Googled it. Actually, I had someone Google it. You can put all sorts of carbonated things in one of these containers and it will not blow up, because I was a little bit terrified of that at first.
You're
Right here, I've just got 4 ounces of our grapefruit juice. Perfection. I have a little bit of simple syrup. And if you guys watched my last class, I taught y'all how to make a simple syrup. Really easy, just equal parts sugar and water, and then reduce, and you could flavor it.
Chef, we got a question from Millie.
Yes?
Millie would like to know, is there a suitable substitute if you don't want to use grapefruit juice? What's your next go-to for this one if you don't like grapefruit juice?
If you don't like grapefruit, you could do, oh, that's a great question. Well, any juice that you like. So like a strawberry lemonade would be really wonderful for this. Blood orange juice would be really good with this. Pineapple would be really great, the pineapple and the watermelon, anything. So I added a little bit of our simple syrup. I'm adding 2 cans of our sparkling water. And this is the watermelon sparkling water with a little bit of caffeine. If you're serving this for kids, I would probably opt out of the caffeine.
Oh,
I'm looking out for y'all.
I
and
thought you were
just
going to
do
say
like
I just use less tequila for the kids, and I was like,
mean,
or just
okay,
omit it. It's
okay.
up to you.
It doesn't have. I mean, it's not a Monster energy drink. So 2 of these, and then we're gonna add a little bit of salt to this. And the salt and the watermelon is like beautiful together. I absolutely love it. So I'm gonna add a couple pinches of that. It will
Brings out the
fizz
flavor of everything.
just a little bit.
We had a great comment from Mike earlier that I wanted to go back to because it was a great comment. He said, when you're talking about desserts, he said, desserts don't go to the stomach, they go to the heart.
Oh,
And
Mike.
I agree. And Mike, sometimes in the form of cholesterol, but I understand your meaning and I agree with you.
Okay, this is definitely, so you can look at the chicken right now, and I just want to give you all a couple of visual cues. Definitely use a meat thermometer if you have a meat thermometer. 165 is what we're looking for, but you can see how like it doesn't have as many bubbles around the outside. The bubbles are a little bit bigger, so this guy is most definitely ready to go. And I'm gonna put him over here. This guy has, this is the white meat, it has a little bit more bone in this, and it's got that wing joint, so I'm gonna let this guy sit a little bit longer. And now I'm just gonna add in our
Frozen watermelon.
frozen,
Also acting as your ice cubes,
as
right?
my ice cubes. So again, we did that really cool frosé, and I had all that watermelon left over, so I froze it into these ice cubes. These are also just a really good treat, just to eat these like so. And I'm gonna add some of these in there. They're gonna keep our drink nice and cold. At this point, this is when I would add in my tequila or my vodka.
Now, if you're
like-
out of tequila and vodka, what else can you use,
I
Charlotte?
bet gin.
It's
Gin
Friday
would be
after all.
good. Gin would be good.
Gin, all right.
All right, I'm gonna put my lid on this. Getting my picnic together. Look, it comes with its own cup.
That's a giant cup.
This is like a cup of coffee. This is 56 ounces.
It almost doesn't
What
look like
is
it belongs. It's like this giant cup.
That's a really, like, that's good.
Single
that
serving.
Feels good.
Yep.
These
Feels
are also
heavy.
good too. Look, this feels good too.
Those are I call those the wine coaties. I mean, they kind of
Yeah.
are. They're shaped a little more,
I don't know what
For-
the hand. This is just
Oh,
naturally
that's like,
how
no,
it
you're
would
doing
go,
the Vanna
right?
White. You're showing off something. I like it. You're doing the right pose for
I
showing
love
something.
this. I love this. I love this. I love this. Okay, got all my stuff. Gonna clean up, and I'm gonna bring over. I'm probably gonna eat a piece of chicken on camera, y'all. That's gonna happen.
So our picnic is all coming together.
It is all coming together. I'm gonna do a cleanup because I'm gonna show you guys how to transport the chicken.
While she's doing that, you can see a great shot of some of our great. That Cody container on the right is amazing. It's got lots of room and it's fantastic. There's a picnic thing inside of that, a picnic blanket, I
That's
believe.
really good. Okay,
All this great HEB GM merchandise, I'm telling you.
so here is all of this beautiful fried chicken right here in front of me. And how I am going to plate this is super fantastic. So you don't want to put your chicken into a closed container, and you don't want to put it into a closed container while it's still hot, because that's where you get all of that steam that starts to happen. And the steam, the moisture, causes your chicken to get soggy. And the whole point of this was to make super
Coating slides
crispy,
off.
wonderfully crunchy chicken. So what I have, but like this is just a basket, like a wire basket. You could use a plastic container just without the lid. And then I'm using barbecue, like Texas stuff.
Butcher paper.
Barbecue
Oh, yeah.
butcher paper. And the reason why I'm using this is that it's strong enough to hold it, to withhold any like juices or grease that may drip out, but also it's still breathable to where it won't make your chicken super soggy. Also, it kind of looks, I think it looks kind of cool, right?
Yeah, it won't do what foil does, which is like
right?
steam it.
So I'm just gonna put the chicken in here like this. Look at this.
Make sure you give me some good drumsticks. I'm a big fan of the
Are
drumsticks.
you a
there,
drumstick
Chef.
guy? Okay, just like this. I'm gonna put that guy right there. This guy, just like this. And then what you do is you'll just take this and you just kind of fold it up and over, and it's like its own contained entity. I love it. That's it. We're done. We're
Chicken
done,
looks
you guys.
really
We
good.
made all of this fantastic fried chicken. I'm definitely gonna bite into the piece that we just made. Should I do it?
You should.
This is the piece that we just took out.
Yeah, the pickle, buttermilk. No, I don't want any. I'm good. Thank you so much for offering, though. I appreciate that.
I'm really proud of myself right now. I'm super proud of myself right now. This is super crunchy. It's super delicious. This was super easy. Sandwiches. I mean, you don't have to make sandwiches for picnics. You can absolutely do fried chicken. It's super fantastic. And this is just a great recipe if you want. You don't have to go on a great picnic. You could go to your backyard or to your living room or whatever it is. Man, this is really good. Thank you guys for hanging around. Thank you guys for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the fried chicken recipe. I hope you guys make it at home. If you feel like you missed anything or you want to watch this wonderful banter again, you can always go to our YouTube
You can
channel.
watch it
YouTube
over
and over.
again.
YouTube.com/HEB. And to see what classes we have coming up in the future, you can always go to HEB.com/classes.
And there is a ton of content coming up this
Yes.
summer. I'm really, really excited. You can see some of the content on our website, with, like she just said, the HEB.com/classes. There's also some
So
great
crunchy,
stuff
so
that's
hot.
not posted yet, so stay tuned. A lot of new, cool stuff. Chef, well done. Again, I don't want any fried chicken. I'm okay. You just this is a you basket.
I did all
moment.
the hard work. Thank you.
We'll see you next time. Thanks so much. While she eats the fried chicken, we will see you next time.